Okay, let me offer prayers and then we'll begin. Om Ajnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana-salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya-manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalan Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan तां सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजना सहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सह गणललित श्रीविशाख अन्वितंश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन् इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वतीदेवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे वञ्चाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्णकरुणा सिन्धो दीनबान्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. Okay, so I welcome you all to our today's systematic study of Vedic scriptures in that Bhagavad Gita chapter 10, continuing from verse 11. Just to kind of attune to what we are doing as part of this Sunday uh, studies is to appreciate the greatness of Bhagavad Gita, which is the basis of understanding ourself, understanding the Supreme Lord, understanding His nature, understanding His energies. So everything is presented in a nutshell, that too on the occasion of a great need that Arjun was in, and Krishna was speaking. I think yesterday I was saying that if Krishna was not present in the battlefield, they wouldn't even have had a battle because of lack of clarity, whether to fight or not fight, compromise, not compromise, peace or not peace. So, in that way, we see the importance of Lord Krishna speaking Bhagavad Gita in the battlefield. Of course, there are so many people misuse this same and then they promote violence. They promote violence saying that your Hindu god is also doing the same thing. He's also asking to fight. When Arjuna was going more on a non-violence path. So when Krishna can do that, yeah. So what is the harm that we do it? So this is part of a religion. But importance is to be understood not about what action has been performed, but understand the intricate reason behind the action. Yeah. So when we understand the reason behind it, then we have a clarity. Otherwise, it's always, um, yeah, there is always a doubt. Mm, what did I do? Is it correct or wrong? What should I do? That's to be correct or wrong. So there is always this: what is right, what is wrong, and Bhagavad Gita is the basis for helping us to understand what is the right path, clarifying various points. In that, we are in the last verse of the Shloki. Yeah. If someone would like to read, can read this.
May I, Prabhuji?
Yeah.
तेषम् एवानुकम्पार्थम् अहम् अज्ञानजं तमः नशयामि आत्मभावस्थो ज्ञानदीपेन भास्वतः. Translation. To show them special mercy, I dwelling in their hearts, destroy with lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. Purport. When Lord Chaitanya was in Benares, promulgating the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, thousands of people were following him. Prakashananda Saraswati, a very influential and learned scholar in Benares at the time, derided Lord Chaitanya for being a sentimentalist. Sometimes Mayavadi philosophers criticize the devotees because they think that most of the devotees are in the darkness of ignorance and are philosophically naive sentimentalists. Actually, that is not the fact. They are very, very learned scholars who have put forward the philosophy of devotion. But even if a devotee does not take advantage of their literatures or of a spiritual master, if he is sincere in his devotional service, he is helped by Krishna himself within his heart. So the sincere devotee engaged in Krishna consciousness cannot be without knowledge. The only qualification is that one carry out devotional service in full Krishna consciousness. The Mayavadi philosophers think that without discriminating, one cannot have pure knowledge. For them, this answer is given by the Supreme Lord. Those who are engaged in pure devotional service, even though they be without sufficient education and even without sufficient knowledge of the Vedic principles, are still helped by the Supreme God as stated in this verse. The Lord tells Arjuna that basically there is no possibility of understanding the supreme truth, the absolute truth, the supreme personality of Godhead simply by speculating. For the supreme truth is so great that it is not possible to understand him or to achieve him simply by making a mental effort. Man can go on speculating for several millions of years, and if he is not devoted, if he is not a lover of the supreme truth, he will never understand Krishna or the supreme truth. Only by devotional service is the supreme truth, Krishna, pleased, and by his inconceivable energy, he can reveal himself to the heart of the pure devotee. The pure devotee always has Krishna within his heart, and with the presence of Krishna, who is just like the sun, the darkness of ignorance is at once dissipated. This is a special mercy rendered to the pure devotee by Krishna. Due to the contamination of material association, through many, many millions of births, one's heart is always covered with the dust of materialism. But when one engages in devotional service and constantly chants Hare Krishna, the dust quickly clears and one is elevated to the platform of pure knowledge. The ultimate goal, Vishnu, can be attained only by this chant and by devotional service, and not by mental speculation or argument. The pure devotee does not have to worry about material necessities of life. He need not be anxious. Because when he removes the darkness from his heart, everything is provided automatically by the Supreme Lord, who is pleased by the loving devotional service of the devotee. This is the essence of the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. By studying Bhagavad Gita, one can become a soul completely surrendered to the Supreme Lord and engage himself in pure devotional service. As the Lord takes charge, one becomes completely free from all kinds of materialistic endeavors. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for the opportunity, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Very nice verse. What did you find interesting here?
Actually, while reading through this verse, I could uh, recollect some of the discussions which happened. At the beginning, when we are taking these small steps towards Krishna consciousness, when we always have the discussion that okay, why we have to engage so purely in devotional service and why Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. So this verse clearly, it clears everything when we are reading this. And Prabhupada translated this with a lot of conviction that I think this should clear whatever doubts that we have in our hearts.
Yes. Yeah. Anyone else want to say, how did you feel? What did you find interesting, valuable? I don't know who are actually present.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Venimada Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, I found Prabhuji one point, just by doing devotional service, you can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One
Mm-hmm.
time was a person in West Bengal. He came to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj, asked that I have some questions.
Mm-hmm.
Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj told that first go and clean the utensils, then come back, then I will give answers to you. After he joined that service, he cleaned for 2-3 hours, then he came back. Maharaj asked, do you have any questions now? He told that I got all answers during my cleaning. So
Very
it's
nice.
basically when we are doing service towards the Lord, definitely He will reveal the answers, whatever the questions which we have from our heart only.
Mm. A very important secret, right? Because mind is always restless, right? So mind always wants answers first. Only if you give answer, then only I'll surrender. I'll accept. Yeah. So yeah, but when we don't have intelligence, how can we understand it? Even if one is giving knowledge, philosophy, everything, yeah, then the challenge will come because of our own limitations. We have our own limitation of envy and because of pride coming on the, yeah, so we don't accept it. Hmm? So the easier media is service. In service, what we do is we put ourselves 100% into action. Whereas if it is only just hearing, that too in a very primitive level, then what may happen is we may not have so much taste for service. We may not have so much conviction to accept the philosophy. When these both things are not there, then what will happen is we doubt the whole process because I don't see any change. Yeah, I don't see. But in that case, we have to see the examples of how someone else has changed in front of our eyes in a span of 5 years, 10 years. How a person has transformed himself. Why? Because he just put himself into this process of hearing and serving. Very nice. Venimada Prabhu. Anyone else before we go through the purport? hmm So let's begin. So here there are few points. First away, straight away saying about this Prakashananda Saraswati, who is very influential, learned scholar in Banaras. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, we can see about him and how how he has dealt with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he derided even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for being a sentimentalist. What is sentimentalist is something that, okay, this is what I like, this is what I have developed a feeling, and with that feeling and with that own, without any shastras backup or something, if I do, that is called sentimentalist. uh, Varsana Leela Mataji, what was that we were discussing about this? What is that without is called a sentimentalist? Bhakti without philosophy.
Yes,
When we
reason.
have devotion without philosophy is called sentimentalist. And philosophy without devotion, what is it called?
It's Mayavadi philosophy.
Yeah, it's speculative,
Yeah.
speculation. Yeah. So here, Mayavadi is saying that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a sentimentalist. So why it can be? Because that there is no bhakti philosophy that is backing up what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was doing. Why? Because when we don't come to that level, we find everything is only okay, one's own, whatever is coming to one's own mind, he's doing that. But there are definitely Shastric evidences. There are thorough backup of what is the science of bhakti that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is presenting is he is going far beyond that no one has done, that no one has offered to the mankind, because the mankind are always busy in doing what? Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. In this own cycle of only this Panchama Purushartha is not so much well presented. There is always a mixture. There is always a mixture of this. There is a karma mishrama bhakti, jnana mishrama bhakti. But where is the pure bhakti? That pure bhakti will obviously start looking, hey, it's an alien thing, it's a foreign thing, it's something totally out of the world, or maybe it is because of one's own sentiment, he's doing a chanting, one's own like, he's doing service. So where is the backup for that? Yeah, not all books are speaking about this secret, because uh, we have not gone elevated to that level. So that time it was very well preserved. Just imagine, just imagine, Sesha Sai Prabhu. There is a temple, a very very famous temple, and in that temple, mm, there are so many services that are offered to the Lord. And when the so many services are offered to the land, Lord, there are also so many ornaments of the Lord. And now, where are these ornaments kept? Hmm? We know this Ananta Padmanabha Swami temple. Until that rooms were started checking, no one knew that the temple was so rich, isn't it? Hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. So is it like, okay, no, 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 everyone should know. Let's put them all out. Then we know what happens. Hmm? People who are not worthy, who doesn't know how to worship the Lord with the ornaments, will just take it for themselves, right? They'll just steal, rob. Even now, yeah, when I was in Ahobilam, the priest was telling, oh, I don't know whether the guide was telling, even to date, there are so many people who come to steal the precious jewels that are underground, yeah, under the temple. So many have happened, so many are happening. Why? Because we want to steal. We don't want to kind of qualify ourselves. What is the right way to do is to qualify oneself to become a priest, then take the ornaments and serve the ornaments or, mm, in the form of deity worship. uh, that is the right way. Do we have so much time? Do we have so much intelligence? uh, so that's why this treasure is kept very very confidential. When such a treasure is kept confidential, what will happen is obviously there will be so many people who will ask, is it right what you're doing? Is it not just a fantasy? Is it not just speculation? Is it not just sentiment? It is not just, so many things will come. Why? Because of envy. When I have deep rooted envy in me, I don't want to accept something. That is what is this envy manifesting out. When I'm not accepting a fact. Hmm? So Mayavadi philosophers, sometimes Mayavadi philosophers criticize the devotees because they think that most of the devotees are in darkness of ignorance and are philosophically naive sentimentalists. Is it important to be presenting the philosophy, or is it important to practice bhakti? Yeah, let's put this question for a while and then discuss. Hmm.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Yeah, in my understanding, I feel that it is more important to practice bhakti,
Hmm.
because
Okay.
those who are practicing, somehow they already get this understanding that it is very, very important for our life, because there can be many branches, many levels of understanding of philosophy. But once
Hmm.
we get the essence, not necessary that each and every line of the philosophy or the Vedas we understand and thoroughly we know all everything. But once the essence is there, then the essence is also that we have to do devotional service.
Hmm. Hmm.
So then practicing on that path is more important.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah. Fine. Anyone else?
Prabhuji, without knowing the philosophy, practicing bhakti, sometimes can it lead to blind faith or something?
Okay. Mm-hmm. Next, someone.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, your question was to present the philosophy or doing bhakti?
So, what was my question?
Practicing philosophy first or practicing bhakti is first is needed.
Okay.
So now if this question is chewed by everyone, the output is different.
Mhm.
Okay.
No more.
So that's why we have to be very attentive.
Important.
What did you understand, Adirasa Prabhu? What was my question?
I thought that presenting the philosophy or doing bhakti.
No, that was not my question. My question was, is it that is it important to know the philosophy? Yeah, or practicing the bhakti? What is most important?
Yes, practicing bhakti is more important, but it comes like everybody said. It comes after knowing at least the basic understanding.
Okay.
Then the bhakti can come. But without knowing nothing, yeah, bhakti can, yeah, maybe on the just on an abstract level. So
Mm-hmm.
to go in deep, yeah, some philosophy should be as a
Yeah.
backup. Yeah.
So this verse is a revelation for you. Yeah. So that your understanding will have to change. Let's
Yes.
see. Okay. Anyone else? Surya Teja Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, for me, they go hand in hand, both of them, philosophy and devotion.
Which hand goes
So,
far?
yeah, at least for
Very,
me,
very,
without,
very smart escapic answer, huh?
no, no, let me try to explain this way what I
Yeah.
understood. So, without knowing at least one or two lines or paragraphs of philosophy, I cannot start with bhakti because I don't get the conviction or, yeah, anyone maybe, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what I would say is if you learn or see or hear from someone who you trust
Mm-hmm.
or you believe, then
Mm-hmm.
you get a few or a little glimpse of philosophy. Then you start with devotion, and then you move ahead, and you keep trusting what you do,
Mm.
and then you will find your answers. So that is what I believe, because philosophy, at least for me, is a very vast subject, and I cannot understand what I read or hear every time.
Mm-hmm.
So when you start, you go deep and you go through and do not leave this in between. So I would
Okay.
say for me, it goes hand in hand. But if you do not
But
understand
what is the
something, do
first
not back
thing?
off.
Is it the first the bhakti or is it first the philosophy? When you say hand in hand.
For me, philosophy starts first because at least I believe that puts a seed into your mind that you should start with devotion or bhakti.
Yeah.
Otherwise, as Hemagauri Mataji said, sometimes it may believe to blind faith, and someone comes to you and questions, why are you praying to Lord? And when you don't have an answer, um, yeah, you can become yourself doubtful that why I'm why I started this and why I'm doing this when I
Mm-hmm.
don't know anything.
Okay.
But yeah, when I start with devotion and somehow I get introduced to this philosophy in between without
Mm.
before someone asks me this question, then also um, I would not leave this path. So yeah, for me,
So
what starts first is
so
not
we can't.
important, but
Wow. Yeah. That's nice, no? So for some it is the service that kicks off. For some it is the philosophy
yeah,
that kicks off. But both needs to be there to kind of go on a long journey.
yeah.
Right. Chandana Mataji, what do you say? First of all, yeah, thanks for joining on a Sunday morning, which is the day for resting. You're on mute or you're not there.
Sir, I'm here, sir. I'm just listening to you all.
Yeah. So what do you say?
I blindly believe, sir. I don't think what is blah 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 everything. I just blindly believe. I know there is a supernatural power in the nature, and I just listen these as like a stories, and that's it.
Yeah, but I hope you appreciate the discussion, right? So to understand, to deepen.
Yeah.
Mm. Okay. Who else want to share before we crack?
Prabhuji,
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes. Yes, Vedimata Prabhu.
present days, Prabhuji, yeah, bhakti is far like most important. Nowadays, you have to have bhakti at the same time philosophy also. But if you go to the 1,000 years, 2,000 years back, if you read the Chenchunataka written by Tarigonda Vengamamba, a tribal people, how they served the Lord Venkateshwara, what type of philosophy they know. Lord Venkateshwara personally came to their homes eating the whatever the prasad like Boga they offered like that one. But present days you should have both.
Yep. And what you are saying is also philosophy, right? So to back up that spirit, yeah, for reaching Lord, we are presenting a supporting statement saying that philosophy is not so important, which itself is a philosophy, right? Isn't it?
Prabhuji, I-
So the examples that you're giving is a philosophy to support the philosophy of not giving so much to philosophy.
I think one more point I will tell you, Prabhuji. Many Mayavadis says that we are sentimentalist or something. Even the Shankaracharya told that in his Bhajagovindam, 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 Govindam, Bhajamodamate, Samprapte Sannihiti Kale, Nahi Nahi Rakshakti Dukrunkarane. So there was a Brahmana, he is very learned scholar. He was looking at the Sanskrit grammatic something. Lord Shankaracharya went, what are you doing? This is all useless. Chant the Govinda name.
Mm. Yeah, nice.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Abu Prabhu.
I'm not fully agreeing with the Vedanta Prabhu's statement because, as far as I know, bhakti actually not given by God Himself. Bhakti is actually totally the resources of the pure devotees. So it is the causeless mercy of the pure devotee who engage us or who give the actually little bhakti to us to start with. So because we know that if bhakti is given by Krishna, Krishna is sold out. I mean, when it ripens out. So that's why Krishna gives everything material desire. So what about when we pray? But for giving bhakti, he's very reluctant or he's very careful. So only the devotees only come and actually engage us or give us the bhakti. And then we start with it. And so whatever he example he's given, maybe previous life or somewhere, she started with some, or the devotee started with something with the other devotee. So it's not only one life journey. So it is like a continuous journey. So, and for the philosophy, yes, Bhakti-Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj told that for studying Bhakti, you don't need anything because I already have mentioned that that other devotees actually engaging us. So they are giving the opportunity to us. But if we stay in that position, in conistologically position, so it is still the is very much chances that we will again fall down. So to go ahead, that's why understanding or understand the philosophy is needed. Otherwise, we'll fall down at any time. So that is actually the importance of for learning philosophy gradually. I mean, when we enter in the bhakti life.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So one liner, what do you say? Philosophy is needed to practice bhakti.
Yes, philosophy is needed to be in the bhakti life or to grow further. Otherwise, we'll fall down, or otherwise, we'll do after some time mechanically, which will not give us the result after some time.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Very nice. Anyone else? Okay. Yeah, it's very nice that we are talking about what is to be a sentimentalist. Hmm? So, is it really sentimentalist, which means there is no basis? Uh, just like, okay, if I fast on Monday, Yeah, I like Mondays of the week very much. So if I fast on Monday, it's something good will happen. That is what is sentimental. There is no backup of any philosophy. Yeah, or fasting on a Tuesday, or yeah, if I am self creating my own vratas, or if I'm kind of thinking my own ways of saying, okay, by doing this something will happen, this is some kind of superstitious. Yeah, because like, yeah, Maharaj, Kadamkaran Maharaj gives the example that okay, there is always a wedding, and in that wedding, uh, all of a sudden when everything was arranged, and when the boy is coming and the marriage is going to start, at that time all of a sudden the girl's mother, she saw a cat, a black cat, and she saw, and then what happened is, we see black cat is very superstitiously, yeah, not good. And philosophy, I don't know, I didn't come across a thorough strong philosophy that a black cat can change everything. But then what happens, the mother will somehow catches this cat and puts under a basket, and so that she keeps it away from the scene. Yeah, because if we don't see the cat, then we are peaceful, right? If we see the cat, then only the problem is. So then the cat is hidden, the marriage happens so successfully that Hmm. This mother was telling, I'm so happy for you. You know what? Just when your marriage is going to happen, then there was this black cat that came, and I was very scared. And this black cat, um, yeah, somehow did it. And when this girl who got married, she had a daughter, and her marriage was being organized. She was literally looking where there is a black cat that she can find. She can put it under the basket so that her daughter's marriage can be, yeah, successful. So this is what can give us a feeling of what it means to be sentimental. Yeah, Surya Tej Prabhu, this is clear what it means to be sentimentalist. Anyone, not only he, but any question? First, we need to understand this word carefully.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji,
Yes.
one question here. So in India, like many ladies do worship. For example, if a husband is a devotee, but a wife is not so inclined about the philosophy, but she does all the things like husband says to her, to him, to her. What
Mm-hmm.
should we do? What should we not to do?
Mm-hmm.
Then is she also a sentimentalist? That she is following her husband, who is a devotee, but she does not know
If
any
she has,
philosophy.
if she has strong conviction, her husband is doing correct. Hmm? Then it's not sentimental. So that we will discuss. Yeah, next minutes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So, but what sentimental is without any reason, yeah, just because of something came to my mind. I used to kind of, okay, I wanted to go to Sri Salem, but my parents, my father, he didn't allow me because I had to go with someone whom we don't know, with some school kids. And then what I did was, oh, to please the Lord, what I was doing is I was doing sit-ups for I think 1,000 or even more for the whole night I did, so that next day morning my father, he allowed me to go. Then you see, wow, next time, if at all I have a calamity, I have to just do what? Sit-ups, and then that's it. Hmm? So it is our understanding of saying, taking some thoughts around and bringing that into, because we want a way out. All of us are searching a way out. We don't want to suffer in this world. We always want to find a way out so that we can always be happy. For that, we are ready to do anything, whether it is philosophy or not philosophy. Do we care really? Hmm? Who says philosophy is important for me uh, to enjoy happiness? Raise your hands. No one, right? Or maybe you're finding your hands up. Huh? Who wants philosophy to be happy? We don't care. We don't really care philosophy. If we know that this is the secret, if this is the right path that will take me, Afterwards, we don't care. A classic example is, how many of us are engineers here? Raise your hands. Only 2, 3. I think everyone then. Check. Yeah. How many of us are really interested to know how electricity works, so that if I turn on a switch, then the light, then we have a light, or we have our stoves working? Do we really want? Can put down your hands. Why? At application level, if it works, we don't really care the science. This is the topmost principle of Patanjali Yoga Sutras. He says what means to be in samadhi is the topmost, right? So we are talking about yoga, we are talking about the topmost level of yoga, means at that stage he is not even bothered what is the theory, what is the application. He is totally absorbed in connection to the Supreme Lord constantly. And that stage he forgets himself. After all, are we studying so much to forget ourselves or to forget the science? Hmm?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah.
So recently, our dishwasher had a problem. So that time I was actually trying to understand how it actually works.
Oh, scientist is here.
So I think sometimes I don't know. Even in when practicing bhakti and devotional service, also maybe uh, if we have to elevate ourselves, I think we have to keep learning philosophy and
Mhm.
keeping our knowledge intact, so that because maybe one day we have to preach.
Yeah, that is only half answer I have given. Yeah. So to for ourselves to practice bhakti, yeah,
Mm.
we really, if we know that there is already happiness, yeah. So ice cream, let's say ice cream. If there is a very nice ice cream that is presented to you, are you going to ask the recipe and you want to try it out, or you want to just eat the ice cream?
Yeah, first we will eat.
Mm. And afterwards, if someone will give you again ice cream, will you learn?
Maybe if we are interested, we will ask the recipe.
Yeah, you may ask, but ultimately you are more focused on enjoying the ice
Yes,
cream.
yes,
Yeah. Unless you want to serve to others, then you
yes,
think of recipe.
yes, Professor.
Yeah. So for yourself, you are little okay, okayish when you don't know it. Yeah. But ultimately, you know that there is reality, right? This ice cream is not just a fake. It's real ice cream. Someone really made it, and that's why, yeah, it's not a sentiment that there is an ice cream, that there is an ice cream which tastes nice. No, it really is there, and you are enjoying. When you are personally experiencing, you usually tend not to really go behind the philosophy. And of course, Apu Prabhu, as you were saying that, okay, no, but how long can we go with that ice cream? As long as you are still connected to it, isn't it? As long as that ice cream that is giving you the same experience or even more or less, you will try to say, okay, philosophy, I don't care right now. Yeah. But as soon as when the taste comes down, as soon as when the experience of bhakti, yeah, you feel like, hey, it's quite routine, or it's kind of, same taste, same every day. You want something new flavor, then what you'll do? You'll again look for something, isn't it? Just like primitive light system was just if you turn on and off, there is only one light that was coming on and off. Now, if you place, there are so many things. Yeah, it will change the colors of the lights. Mm. The technology is advancing. Yes. Is it Hema Gauri Mataji or Sesha Sai Prabhu?
Prabhuji, for the ice cream example,
Hmm.
for some people initially there may not be taste, right? So he may be eating as if everybody else is eating. So
Mm-hmm.
for him to go along when he is alone, he needs some support, right? It cannot be philosophy, something he needs.
Hmm. Yes, and that is what is experience. Yeah, that is what is experience. You may have eaten such a bad ice cream in the past, so as soon as you eat now this ice cream, you'll feel a better taste. Yeah.
Yeah, if that is called experience, yeah, that I am fine. So uh, that should also happen. I mean, it's not that everybody is fortunate that they will have experience or reciprocation.
Yeah, so yeah, we come to that point of saying like, okay, what is it? Is it learning by hearing, learning by experiencing? Yeah. So what is the benefit and what is the disadvantage of it? Yeah, but nevertheless, when we're talking about this, that okay, when it is not working out for me, yeah, as you were saying, like, okay, that ice cream is not so tasty, like maybe others are enjoying because, yeah, they are by birth, usually we say by born devotees. So born devotees means they don't need so much fanning. They don't need so much pampering. They already have this spark in them, in a better flame, and then just it kicks off from there. It's maybe for someone else what to do. Yeah, then they need to be under care. Yeah, you know this incubation, right? After a child is born, he is not just exposed to the normal nature, right? Not out. He's kept for some time in an incubation, checked all his values are stable or not. Only after the values are stable, then he is exposed to the nature or outer world. So if someone is not experiencing the taste, yeah, it's not like it happens only for the beginners. Even advanced people will not have taste gradually, but then there is a science of how to kind of continue to have that. And the formula is same. What we do, we keep trying enthusiastically. It's not that okay, one fine day there will be two clouds hitting each other, there will be a spark, and that spark will tell me that this is what, yeah, it means for me, and then all this knowledge is coming to me, and then with that knowledge, everything becomes very clear. That will not happen. Hmm? It will still has to happen with our endeavor, with our effort. If we don't even show up our interest, there will never be a taste. Hmm? Dhairyat, Utsahat. Or is it the Utsahat, Dhairyat? No, the other way. Both are required. And then we need to have patience. But then, I mean, this is little slight track to what we are actually trying to understand is whether this philosophy, if is this philosophy so much. It's like I would say, yeah, maybe if we refer back to this example of idli, dosa, or and chutney, yeah, bhakti would mean the real main meal, yeah, and other things are only kind of chutney, yeah. Sometimes it becomes too boring to eat only idli, right? Plain idli. We may need chutney. Hmm? And the other way, yeah, if we think that, okay, no, 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 I will eat only chutney because it's tasty, how much can we eat? How much philosophy can we absorb? How much philosophy? I think Surya Tejpa was very rightly telling it's so vast. Just imagine Surya Tejpa, one full plate of chutney is served to you. Hmm? We will, I'm sure we will not finish the whole plate, right? So we'll stop somewhere. Think this is too much. Yeah, this is too much. Where is my idli? After all, chutney is nice, but I think the purpose of chutney is to serve what? To serve the idli. So then we'll go for that. Otherwise, what will happen? We would just end up. Yeah, even the question may come, okay, but the gopis were, yeah, they always say that they don't know any philosophy, and then they are always constantly serving the Lord. They know everything. They know so much that they don't care about it. Yeah, they know everything so much that they don't care because now after coming to that level of connecting to the Lord, nothing matters. What matters is only serving the Lord, exchanging in loving exchange, serving the Lord. Sorry, loving exchanges with the Lord. After all, everything is towards that. What is it? To practice the bhakti in the topmost level, which is love of God. This was not there because it is very, very confidential. It's not cheap. Yeah. Just I was mentioning about this temple which has so many ornaments and jewels. They are kept secret. Why? Because there is every threat that people will just exploit and yeah, not use for the right purpose. So it is kept secret. But 500 years back, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he came. He came and as I think Apu Prabhu you were saying that the love of Godhead is can be given by devotees of the Lord. Lord is also deserving. Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita that you first surrender, then I will give you everything. Um, because Lord very well knows, yes, that if we give this precious thing, we will just take it very cheap. Yeah? But a devotee sees that there is so much need of this. The Lord also is wants to favor, but the devotee is seeing that, oh Lord, without your love, how can uh, one a fallen or suffering person can revive his connection to you? Let me give. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has distributed the love of God, which was hidden, which was kept secret in the form of Goswami's teachings, and in so much that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu inaugurated the Sankirtan movement. We see that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't speak much philosophy publicly. It's not that he went to each spot and then he started challenging. Yeah, uh, that every temple he goes and then he starts challenging and then proving himself is correct. No, that's not what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just was distributing love of Godhead, bhakti, prema bhakti, not even primitive or entry level of bhakti. He's already sharing the topmost level of bhakti in the form of these various teachings. So that might appear like okay, it appears like a contradicting, right? Because on one side there is a system, pakka system, where only brahmanas are given access to this great knowledge. Now, how come that he's presenting it to everyone? Uh, then it might look like okay, this is not as per Vedas because we always believe in Vedas. We whatever is beyond Vedas, we are not able to understand it. But even in Vedas, if one can really go deeper, then we understand the topmost understanding of Vedas was not presented before, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and he has made it available to understand that. Yeah, it's something like um, it is something like we know this, right? We studied our schools, colleges, then we come to bachelor's, then comes master's, then comes PhD, and then comes postdoc. So the more the horizon is exposed, yeah, then we can see things as they are. Just imagine on a cloudy day, we can't even see the buildings which are next to us. Did I say cloudy day? On a foggy day, sorry. On a foggy day, we can't see the buildings next to us. Driving on the roads is quite dangerous because we don't see the car which is just 10 meters far. As the day is getting or lighting up the world brighter, then slowly this fog is dissipated. And as and when this fog is more and more dissipated, then we start seeing not only the car next to us, we see the buildings, we see the roads, bridges, trees, sky. Everything becomes clear and clear. So if we can't see, it doesn't mean that there doesn't exist anything. It is only because of our inability of covering that we have, because of lack of our own vision, because our vision is not purified, we can't see, that's why it's covered. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come, he has presented this so that he says, if I mean, he himself is the Lord, when he is there, what will stop? What will stop? Nothing. He is distributing this whole, either we can see it as the mercy in the form of bhakti. He's giving the seed in the heart of everyone, and he is not only giving the seed, he is also providing this facility to understand, appreciate the bhakti in the form of philosophy of Goswamis. So it's a perfect combination of philosophy and bhakti together. That is what is nurtured so that one becomes a first class devotee. Yeah. Just when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when we hear or read Chaitanya Charitamrita, we hear that when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is doing Sankirtan movement, Sankirtan on the streets or in the forest, everywhere it is, yeah, how much philosophy can a tree understand? How much philosophy can an animal perceive? Nothing. But the love they got, which is the bhakti, um, that was personally experienced by them. So to experience that, does philosophy is a requirement? No. Hmm? So when one is touched by that love of Godhead, nothing matters. Philosophy hai, nahi hai, no problem. When that when that love is not strengthened, then the philosophy, again, which philosophy? Not any kind of philosophy, not Mayavadi philosophy, not impersonal understanding. uh, The philosophy is also presented by Goswamis very, very nicely to understand, so that we are confused. Should we do this? Should we do that? Is this right? This is wrong. So many questions are there. If we take shelter of nectar of devotion, if we take shelter of nectar of instruction, in that way, when we take support of this, these are not some foreign books. These are not some books that are not established outside Vedas. Yeah. These books are indeed handbooks for our practice of devotion, which are based on the Vedas, which well, few hundred years back were not so much emphasized, because if we are not grown up, how can we get this philosophy exposed to? Hmm? That's why it was kind of kept very secret, or it was not so very well thoroughly practiced, because we ourselves know, coming from Indian background, how Brahmin uh, community were on threat, and how Brahmin community were putting others on threat. Yeah, because to kind of existence, hmm, how things have evolved, we know that. how how the Kshatriyas were exposing the loopholes, not even, sorry, exploiting those things through which they can become more materially flourishing. So these four varnas, instead of helping each other, uh, there was an unbalanced situation. This is coming because of what? Because of not using the Shastras properly, not understanding the Shastras properly. Because if we understand the Vedas properly, ul- ultimately one becomes very humble. If one is not becoming humble, that clearly means that one has not understood the Vedas properly. And when that is the case, so many disturbances are presented, and so many disturbances happen because of feeling supremacy, of because of pride and all those things, and due to which we there was a phase where this whole practice was not performed as per the words of the Lord when He sent all of us into this world. We exploited, we exposed, we are suffering, we find a way out now. Yes, Sesha Sai Prabhu.
Prabhuji, Prabhuji, I have a question, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also had a guru, right? So
Mhm.
it kind of did he learn philosophy from his guru or bhakti from his guru?
Did he love bhakti, or I didn't understand?
He
What did he
accepted.
get from his guru?
Yeah, what did he get from guru? Did he get a philosophy? Because if he learned philosophy, like, then God, Lord himself is showing that philosophy is needed, because he's a Lord Krishna himself. So he also took the path of accepting guru and practicing, sharing the love of God to everybody. So did he get the what he learned from his guru, like philosophy or anything? How so? It is showing that philosophy is needed here, right?
No, I think, yeah. So if you see, your question is whether did he learn philosophy or was it just only a diksha he took to get the access to the love of Godhead? Is that the question?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So where was it? I don't remember exactly. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw Ishwar Puri for the first time, was at the bank of, where was it? Apu Prabhu or someone? Bank of what?
Probably when Mahaprabhu went for his father's Pindaran,
Yeah. Where was
Gaya,
it? Gaya. Gaya. Huh.
there he met.
Yeah. And then he was definitely seeing, I mean, he saw the love of Godhead in Ishwara Puri. Yeah. And then he took shelter and then he got, but then with the philosophy, then there is also further elaboration of the philosophy what he got from Ishwara Puri. Yeah. So it's not that, I mean, what inspired that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took initiation from Ishwara Puri was definitely that his constant contact with the path of bhakti, with the Supreme Lord, and then he aspired to take shelter from him. So definitely, um what he got is a good question. So did he get only the philosophy, or did he get also the mercy of bhakti of Lord Krishna? I don't know this. Yeah, but definitely it was what inspired him to take was this. Yeah. But yeah, Surita, before Prabhu, before you go there, Apu Prabhu, did you come across some references that you can add?
Probably I have to go a little deep, Chaitanya Charitamrita, but in a nutshell, I can tell that before initiation, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was like a fully pakka Siddhanti, like a Nyaya Shastra Bishara. So at that time, he was not in, I mean, what is he showing actually? He was really perfect in the philosophy and Nyaya Shastra. He can defeat everyone, but he was not getting access in the Premaras. So
Hmm.
after the initiation, there is one verse come, Prabhuji. Kiba mantra dila gosai kiba tar bol, jopite jopite hoilama pagal. So that means here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after getting the initiation, he shows that okay, after the initiation, that whatever mantra actually his guru gave, this is so powerful that I mean philosophy and everything is nothing in front of this Rosh and Melos. So I don't think that he has spent there a lot of time with the Ishwar. I think it was just only initiation.
Yeah.
But reference I can check Prabhuji, I think.
I read in Chaitanya Bhagavat. Yeah, there also it was this like the main focus was always, yeah, being a expert tarka as well as grammar Sanskrit grammar pandit. He used to literally go and defeat whoever, yeah, even was passing by. They were scared because he used to literally um, and then I think it was um, um, who's that? Advaita Acharya, I think someone sent him. Um, I mean, his mother was concerned, and then Advaita Acharya was saying, "Okay, no, no, things will get better." And then this incident happened, after which it was totally like he was not even speaking for. Yeah, he kept to himself, not talking. So this is what I read in Chaitanya Bhagavad, which is again very nutshell form. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji. I mean, after came back, I mean, I don't have heard a lot of lecture about this. What happened at during the initiation? But what changed happened that of course lot of lecture is available. So I heard from there because I personally didn't read yet Chaitanya Charitamrita. But here it mentioned that okay, when he came, everyone feels like he was like a ghost haunted person.
Yeah.
That every time he's just crying and then and whatever Shakti is showing, even in his Patshala, where he used to teach the students before the Nyaya Shastra, even there also he was just preaching that prem, I mean like a mellows, not like a dry tarka or dry
Philosophy.
philosophy. So
Mm.
I mean one very I mean from this discussion now what I'm feeling is this one very powerful thing is this why actually is needed to take shelter under bona fide guru, that okay we can be learned person, we can be I mean learn anything, but the access to get the access actually real mellows, I mean without taking shelter of Akar will not be possible. From this example what I just
Hmm.
it just came in my mind.
Hmm. So which definitely like not the philosophy training. Yeah, I mean, even I come across the same that it was only a moment. Yeah, so he found Ishvara Puri such exalted, and he took Diksha, and that's it. Then he comes back. So mm, yeah, let me refer once again Chaitan Charitamrita, Hemagori Mataji. But definitely from what Abu Prabhu was saying and what I read also in Chaitanya Bhagavat, definitely it is not just the philosophy.
Yes, Prabhuji, sure, Prabhuji. Thanks, Apu Prabhu and Sudham Prabhu for answer. Yeah,
Mhm.
great.
Suryatej Prabhu, yeah, you had a question.
Yeah, I have to give a disclaimer here, Prabhuji. I'm sorry if I'm sidetracking this topic
Mhm.
or you're conflicting this in any way, but does reading philosophy always make one humble? Because, yeah, some people may read something and they say this is the ultimatum and they are not open. I mean, they don't keep their options open to something beyond this. Let me try to give an example. We can take example of Ravana. So from the sources which I have heard, he has also read so many Vedas. Or yeah, but
Mhm.
somehow I feel maybe he didn't got the essence of it, or something. I don't know what happened, but he read so much and he knows so much, but somehow he failed to bring humbleness to what he did, and he did not follow them. So
Yeah, that's
yeah,
why.
philosophy can be a two-edged sword. Maybe we can use it to be humble and keep going forward, or we can use it to um, how to say, we can use it to debate that yeah, I'm right, I know everything and I can do whatever I want.
Yeah, so it can be a make or break. Yeah, so it can make us our future, it can break our future or fortune. Yeah, but this is what happens, right? So in early stages of learning anything, we may not know the seriousness of it, and we may just think, okay, it is something like, have you seen like dance classes? Yeah, at least 15 years back, if a child is learning dance, by the time she can actually perform first show on the stage, yeah, it would take like few years, 7 years, 10 years, or even more. Yeah. Now I think it is a matter of months. Yeah, if you know even a little bit, then you can go on a stage and then start performing, and then there will be so many selfies and shares and all those things. So what is happening is that what are we fanning? Are we fanning our pride in this process? Initially, it will be like that because people take everything, oh, status. Yeah, whether it is studying philosophy, they think it's a status. But the more and more, then they continue to read. Then what happens is that it's a kind of purification. Yeah, that happens, and with that purification, if one is going more deeper, not shallow, that is the difference between learning something. If you go more deeper, definitely the outcome will be humbleness because we are going down. Yeah, just like a tree. If a tree has a very, very heavy fruits, what will happen to the tree? It will bend, right? It will bend the branches. If it is it's just flowers, right? If it's just flowers, yeah, how much heavy are the flowers? Not that much. Yeah. So what is happening is that it's showing of more show, right? So it's more kind of colorful, yeah, very colorful. Rather, the real value is in this fruit, yeah, which is becoming heavy. The more heavy it is, the more it will bend, it will more bow down, which is humility. Similarly, the more we learn, that heaviness should bend us more down. On the contrary, if we are not doing that, if we are just amassing a lot of knowledge, yeah, from every part on a shallow level, I want to know that, I want to know this, I want, yeah, what do we call that? Hmm. Jack of all trades, master of none. Yeah, so jack of all trades means everyone will say, hey, I know he is doing, and everyone will see that he is doing. But if one gives a work to him, then we know how much struggle we will do, right? All of a sudden, just imagine, huh? Sudama Prabhu, who shows off like he can speak, he can do kirtan, he can write, he can read so many things, yeah. And all of a sudden, someone is coming, thinking, hey, he is a reliable person. Let me go and give him service. Let me give him just to do Mangalarti, and then oh, it becomes all of a sudden too much. Can't fulfill that. In the case of Ravan, Ravan also had everything, but he had also a big problem. Not having knowledge, I mean, he had acquired knowledge, but when he acquired knowledge, what has to be checked is the pride. He failed there. So that is very important. When we are getting, I mean, as you said, rightly said, it's a disclaimer, right? But it's not like, okay, if that is the case, we should not learn at all. If we don't learn, how can we improve? Hmm? Even to appreciate mercy that is coming to our life, right? We should know it. We should understand it. Isn't that the case?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So it's very important to dive deeper, not
Okay,
just swim
Prabhuji.
in it. Yeah, because and this is also, I mean, I'm not a good swimmer, so I can't speak of, but at least I know that who can swim can re connect it that if you are on the surface of the water, then the waves will resist you more, but if you go more deeper, right, then there is no disturbances. This is one thing. And if you are on the shore, there are a lot of waves that will push you out or pull you. There is a lot of wear and tear for you, right? But if you go maybe few meters into the sea, then everything is calm. Yeah.
Okay, Prabhuji. Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I mean,
Yeah.
if you allow, I can just, I can just talk two lines maybe.
Yeah, sure.
Actually, yesterday I was hearing one lecture on the Vaishnava. There, Bhakti Maharaj mentioned one very nice line. He actually mentioned that why we are actually here in this material world. So he mentioned that because we are built-in jealous Krishna. So he told that actually it is very normal. Just imagine that Krishna is there with lot of beautiful girls and everyone is focused on the one boy. I mean, is it really so simple that you will not be feel jealous? So Maharaj learned it is very normal. Even in our society also, if someone is getting something from someone or someone getting more attention, they feel jealous. And in this case, only one boy getting all the attention. So it is very normal that we felt jealous. So Maharaj told that how much work we have to do. That okay to come. I mean, so reluctant that we will not feel jealous of anything. So like anything. So actually, why I'm telling this one is this: the philosophy what Ravana or Hiranyakashipu actually they learned is actually to take the advantage from that. Same that what actually Jagai Madai also read. Jagai Madai read almost everything so that they can do that simple activities in that way. So they find that okay, in scripture this is simple activity. They learn that philosophy and they do exactly the same thing to make the havoc in the society. So it is actually mentioned that what is the intention. So that's why in our Gaudiya Sampradaya we normally tell Bhagavata Parogya Vaishnava Sthane Ekanta Astraya Kariya Chaitanya Charane. So that means whatever philosophy or whatever reading you have to do, you have to do it among the Vaishnava society, among the Vaishnavas, and also take the shelter, purposely shelter on the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Guru, so that whatever philosophy we will learn, it will be, rectified and will be the proper devotional line, not like our own I mean, personal enjoyment. Because when I was reading the Bhakti Siddhanta Vaibhav, here actually one Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj once actually scolded that only reading the um, pastimes, only reading the pastimes, it itself is not good. Maharaj told, Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj told, because he told that when you are reading it, you are enjoying it, but we are not actually here to enjoy. We are here to serve. And that's why when we read the actually the pastime also, we have to also read that what is the purpose of that, what the philosophy of that, so that we can find out what is the service attitude in that pastime itself. Not only just reading, and we are enjoying. So I mean, of course, it is a little bit more deeper, but whatever I actually my line was that we have to read everything by taking shelter of the proper lines of the questions.
Yeah, in the same connection, there is this saying, right? I mean, we come across this that hearing the Shastras from a Mayavadi or a person who is not authorized, yeah, so can be very dangerous. Yeah. So Bhagavad Gita, there are so many commentaries, but if we hear from everyone thinking, okay, everyone are equal, we are only cheating ourselves because we know that not everything is equal. Yeah, everyone has different level of intellectual level, different level of bhakti through which they are presenting. So we should be very careful. Yeah, it is said like hearing shastras from non-authorized is like drinking milk which is poisoned by a snake. Yeah, so it is still the milk, but when it is touched by the snake, the milk becomes poisonous. So what is the cream that is coming out of the shastras also depends on who is speaking or from whom we are hearing, not who. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I don't know. We did cover this. One shloka, one word of sentimentalism took us to a class of 1 hour, 15 minutes. Yeah. So anyway, Varshana Mataji, I think we were also discussing this about what is it, pastimes or the philosophy. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji. And
Yeah.
Apurva was saying, I could remember that even we had
Yeah.
a discussion.
Yes. Give me 10 minutes. We'll close this because we just have spoken about that refuting. So because usually people may think why is so much very common thing is why someone is challenging someone. Hmm. Yeah, why is someone argumenting with someone? Yeah, so is it only sentiment on what basis is this going on? At least when philosophers are criticizing devotees as being sentimentalist, yeah, if we are the sadhakas, don't be carried away. There will be so many people around us. They not know the intricacies of bhakti that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has presented. Maybe I think that is what actually the summary of what we have discussed 1 hour, 1.5 hours is. We shouldn't get shaken away by philosophers who can very nicely put the logic in a way that may make sense to our mind. Our mind is only thinking at logical level, not beyond, because we have not yet mm, appreciate the taste of bhakti in our own life. If someone is saying philosophy because of A, B, C reasons, that's why you should not do this. We think, yes, to my understanding also it makes sense, and we may give up because this bhakti is so subtle. It is very simple. We may not appreciate that simplicity. So we may think, no, it cannot be so simple. It should be really very complex and sophisticated. No, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has presented this in a simplest form that we can appreciate it. So we can see many learned scholars have put forward philosophy of devotion. Even bhakti also, they have put forward bhakti, but they have always touched it with some kind of karma, some jnana, some buddhi, and all these kind of mishram, and then they presented it. Or for example, what is it? Kriya Siddhi, Kriya Yoga, so many things. uh, so when we take to the teachings of Bhagavad Gita and the philosophy in the line of Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, yeah, it may not be same like what others may see, and then there may be so many confrontations or kind of confusions because other line of philosophy is saying, hey, no, how can it be? Only Krishna is supreme. No, I can't accept it. Yeah, okay, let them not accept. Let us not get distracted because we have accepted it. Let's go deeper. Let's not be shallow. Let's not just kind of think, okay, if a wave of water mm, hits you left side, you go left side. If it wave another hits you right side, you go right. Huh? Not just keep on being at a high level, having the same questions. Hmm? Let's go deeper, more into the ocean to collect the that jewels that we need. Um, so here, what we see that if one is sincere in devotional service, he is helped by Krishna himself within his heart. As Shesha Sai Prabhu was mentioning yesterday and even today. So what we have to do is we have to just believe in this process and just stick to it. And what will happen is when we are sticking to it, that sincerity and dedication both attract Krishna, so that our practice of bhakti becomes perfect. I'm not even telling our bhakti will progress. I'm saying our bhakti will become perfect. Why? Uh, because by the mercy of the Lord, uh, He will make sure that whatever we are relishing in this bhakti, yeah, is top class. So in that way, what we have to just do is believe in this and just follow, go more deeper. Only qualification is to carry out devotional service uh, in full Krishna consciousness. And then all the knowledge that we don't have, the knowledge will be revealed. So whatever support system, Surya Tej Prabhu, you were saying, night we want that support system. Why to get from some third grade or second grade person? No, we can get directly from Krishna, from within, because we always have. Yeah, the best way to get it, to acquire something, is without hurting our ego, isn't it? Yeah? The best thing
Yes,
is, if I
Prabhuji.
want something, my ego should not be hurt. Whatever may happen, my ego should not be hurt. Then I'm happy. That is the best thing, right? And how can that be possible? When you are yourself telling that for yourself, then you will not have any problem. That's why I usually say that when one is reading a book, he is reading to himself, then he has more conviction to accept it. Rather, if I am telling the same book to you, then you think, but why are you understanding? Maybe you didn't understand properly. But if you understand yourself like that, you are ready to accept it, isn't it?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes.
Yeah, that is the human tendency. So how to handle that is just continue to practice devotion, and the Lord is enlightening from you within. And this is what we see. The only qualification that's required is to just carry on with devotional service, whatever, with full Krishna consciousness. What is that full Krishna consciousness? That, hey Lord, you are the supreme personality, I am your servant. What does it mean to be your servant? Is to offer my service favorably to you. That's it. And whatever the support system we need, that support system will be uh, provided by the Lord. This is what is the assurance that Lord is telling. Yeah, the Lord is telling. What is he telling? Um, yeah, he's saying, to show them special mercy, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. So who is doing this business? Who is doing that? The Lord himself is destroying that. Who else can do this best? Who else can do that? The Lord. So he is arranging everything. Then he puts us in connection with the supreme, with connection with the spiritual master, and so that because we may not be able to understand or decode the signals of the Lord, but then there is a person who is a representative of God. So he is coming into our life, because maybe is it only my feeling I should do like this, or is it really fact based, or is it really shastric evident? So all these questions are there, whatever are inside our heart. Then there is a spiritual master who is available, a guru, through whom we can put forward this question and then seek the answers. And then the analogy here we see that Lord is saying very nicely that he destroys all the darkness in the heart of a devotee. Hmm? And heart is covered, this is what is mentioned here, dust of materialism. Where is that? Oh, yeah. Man can go on speculating for several, no, where is it, that dust? Anyway, so due to the contamination of material association. This is very, very dangerous. We don't know the effects of bad association because we think this is good association. We are so blind that we don't know what is the right thing or what is wrong thing. We whatever association we think that, oh, this is friends are very good because they help me when they are when I am in need. They are there next to me. Huh? But if a person is not a devotee, what can happen? If a person is not a devotee, then what may happen? Oh, now it's about there's a lot of what do you call fanatism? No, it's now. Well, come on, how can no? What will happen in bad association or material association? We continue to be in that association. Then where is the chance that we can go above? Yeah. If just imagine a person is going to parties and if we keep on staying with him, we'll only go to the parties. If we are in association of devotees, then we go to temple. It is same 24 hours given, whether we use here or there. Huh? Due to the contamination of material association through many, many millions of births, one's heart is always covered with dust of materialism. Material association, covering of matter. But when one engages in devotional service and constantly chants Hare Krishna, the dust quickly clears and one is elevated to the platform of pure knowledge. So this is another thing. It is not that we cannot understand this knowledge. We can, but we are covered. How to remove that covering is through engaging in the cleaning process of chanting. And then the ultimate goal, Vishnu, can be attained only by this chant and by devotional service and not by mental speculation or argument. Usually what we may find is because we can't understand it, hmm, either we drop there itself or just to show that hey, I'm not ignorant. Yeah? Who wants to feel himself low? I want to also tell something that people will appreciate that I am also knowledge intellectual, so I'll also put forward some philosophy, and then I keep on supporting that philosophy, though time to time I know that what I'm speaking is nonsense. That is what is pride. And then, but Lord is saying, but for pure devotees, there is no problem. There is no problem like covering. Does not have to worry about material necessities of life. He need not be anxious because when he removes the darkness from his heart, everything is provided automatically by the Supreme Lord. Whatever the solutions that we are thinking in the line of our own engagement, like okay, no, I need to earn so much money, I want to have that job and all these things, this becomes not so important because we understand after all these things are because I want to control my life because I am scared that nothing will happen if I don't do anything. But if we take real faith in the Lord, and if we are not worried with all this, because the Lord is helping us from inside, what is required, we know. It is not whatever the secret of happiness, what till now we thought, we start doubting it because we understand this is not the real happiness. This is only temporary, makeshift happiness moments. And then this is the essence of teaching Bhagavad Gita. By studying Bhagavad Gita, one can become a soul completely surrendered to the Supreme Lord and engage himself in pure devotional service. As the Lord takes charge, this is very important. Yeah? Just imagine if someone has to guide us, if someone, if we want to take expert counsel, if we want to take expert suggestion, we go to an expert. Who can be more expert than the Lord? As the Lord takes charge, one becomes completely free from all kinds of material endeavors. So that is the outcome that Lord is giving us in this form. That the conclusion from 10th chapter, verse 1 to 11, is what? It is showing that Lord is unlimited. One cannot understand His greatness. He's beyond our mental speculation or mental efforts to understand Him. Huh? It's not speculation or mere mental efforts fail to help us in this way to understand the Lord. It's not at all possible. There is no possibility to understand the Supreme Lord, Supreme Truth, or the ultimate knowledge simply by speculation. Supreme Truth is so great. It is not possible simply by mental efforts. It has to be backed up with what? By the mercy of the Lord. And what is the way for it? Devotional service. Devotional service is the only way Only way and only way. No other way. Any other way, any other upadhi you take, any other shelter you take, yeah, you won't come to this stage of success except devotion, which is only by devotional service uh, one can please the Supreme Lord. By his inconceivable energy, he can reveal everything to the one who is aspiring him, yeah, and dispel all the darkness that is there. So that is the conclusion, yeah. So summary of verse number 1 to 11 is this is the essence. Okay, I'll stop here. As I said, thank you very much. Wish you a nice week. वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यः च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So maybe during your leisure time, read through these 4 verses, which are Chatushloki, which is the kind of essence of complete Bhagavad Gita. So that, yeah, we may have, we can strengthen our faith in these teachings of Bhagavad Gita. Thank you.
Prabhu, could you please tell me the numbers?
Yeah, 8, 9, 10, 11. 10th chapter, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay. Then see you next week. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.